Hello there, Childcare C-Suite. I know it's been a minute, but I am back today with a very simple video for you as we continue our discussion about the top CFO, and that stands for your Chief Financial Officer, the top CFO numbers that you need to know. So far we've looked at your occupancy rate, we looked at revenue, and we looked at your break-even enrollment. Now today I want to show you something really easy to calculate, and it is understanding your payroll percentages. Because we all know pretty much for any business, payroll is going to be the biggest line item on your profit and loss statement. So we want to make sure that we are properly managing our payroll expenses, right? We want to make sure that we are not paying too much and that we're not overstaffed and keeping people on our payroll when we don't have the revenue to match it, or better yet, to sustain it. So today, we're going to talk about a very important question. And that question is, what percentage should you aim to keep your payroll within? So out of a 100%, what should your payroll be? Because you got different buckets, right? And we're going to talk about that a little later in a different video. You have like what we call your rent, your mortgage, then you have other expenses, then you have payroll. How much should you be allocating for payroll? And I'm going to tell you that answer should be between 45 and 55%. The lower, the better. So once again, we want to keep your payroll between 45 and 55%. Preferably more on this end. Now, we want to talk about how do I calculate it? This is one of the easiest formulas and math problems that we're going to do. So to calculate your payroll percentage, you are going to take your total payroll. All right. How much is it costing you for payroll? I also want to know if you do payroll through ADP or Paycom or Paychex, how much do you pay them? That's included in your total payroll. And then you're going to divide that by your total revenue. And so let's take 1 month at a time. I'm going to look at mine. So for the month of August, okay, in 2025, just last month, my payroll was $84,317. That's my total payroll for the month of August. Now I need to divide that by my total revenue. How much did I bring in? I brought in $162,579. Now, that does not include our VPK dollars. That is strictly private pay. So now what I need to do is divide this number, 84,317 divided by 162,579. And so for the month of August, that comes out to 51.8. So really almost, if we want to round it, 52% is my payroll for the month of August. I said, ideally, you want to be between 45 and 55%. If I'm at 52, then that means I'm doing okay. But for my standards, I don't want to really go beyond 48%. So for the month of August, a couple of things I can talk about. One, I don't have my VPK dollars. If I go in and add, let's say this was VPK 162,579. Let's say I'm going to get about 20,000 from VPK. So that increased my revenue by 20,000. Let's see what my percent will be. 84,317 divided by 182,579. Then that would have put me at a 46% payroll percentage. You see that? But granted, we all know I'm not going to get that VPK money until September. However, I just wanted you to see, to calculate your payroll percentage, you're going to take your total payroll For me, it was 84,000, and you're going to divide it by your total revenue. Without my VPK dollars, this was the number. And so that percent was 52. What percent? My payroll percentage. But if I factor in the $20,000 that I'm going to get for VPK, my payroll is at 46%. And that's my sweet spot. That's where I like to be. So what I want you guys to do, take a look at your June, your July, and your August. Run that number. Now, if I want, I can go into QuickBooks because I do it online, and I can run from January to August 31st. And I did do the math, and I was at 47%. So for all those months, January all the way to the end of August, I put in my revenue and I divided my payroll expenses, and I landed at about 47%. So that means I am tracking very well. And that's another easy way for you to budget and to know exactly how much you're spending. So childcare owners, my Childcare C-Suite, because you're sitting in the C-Suite now, you are focusing on being a financial steward of what God has given you. And if you're not looking at your dollars, you don't know how much you're spending. And it's important to know, to make sure that you're not wasting money. Again, 45 to 55%. If you're at 55, I'm gonna be honest, I think that's high. I really would want you to be no more than 50, 51 if possible. But if you're at 55, okay, but let's see where we could cut. What can we reduce some hours? What can we do to bring that number down? Or can we increase the revenue? Either I'm going to decrease the payroll or increase the revenue. That's how you have to manage your money. Okay, Childcare C-Suite, that's it. It's an easy number. What is your payroll percentage for the month of August? Drop it below because I want to see. I want to know that you're doing this and that this video is adding value. God bless you guys, and I'll see you when we talk about our CFO number 5. Have a good day.